So by the end of this video, my £2,500 Audi is going to sound like a GTR. And I know what you're thinking, how is that even remotely possible when the car is a diesel and currently sounds like this? Other than road noise, it is completely silent. So underneath the bonnet is Audi's V6 3-litre TDI. And if you aren't too clued up on these actually have a really big trick up their sleeves. And with just a couple of exhaust modifications, this thing can genuinely sound like a GTR or like a 350Z. And back at the unit, we have those exact modifications which are going to make this thing sound insane. So the first exhaust modification we're going to fit to the Audi A5 are these bad boys from the kind guys at Diagnostics. So they have kindly sent out this lovely backbox delete kit with 4-inch exhaust tips. This is not only going to be a visual upgrade, it's also going to allow the engine to breathe better and be more free-flowing. Diagnostics have absolutely loads of exhausts for all sorts of cars, so make sure you go ahead and click the link in the description down below and go check them out for yourself. Okay, so the car's safely up in the air and I've had a look underneath quickly to see how hard this is going to be. And according to underneath there and also these instructions, I don't think it's going to be too bad, but I've said it now, haven't I? So to install this backbox delete kit, we need to lower the exhaust, so we're going to remove the 2 clamps holding each backbox up. And to make sure it doesn't drop on my face, I'm going to support it with the jack. And these clamps are held up with some 13mm bolts. And now we can go ahead and measure 70mm from the exhaust weld and then mark it out and then get it cut with the angle grinder. And because we lowered the rear part of the exhaust, it makes it easier to cut it. And just like that, the box is off.
It's coming. Hey!
And with both the boxes chopped off, I cleaned up the end of the exhaust so the new part can slide on nicely. So to make sure we don't get any exhaust leaks, we're going to be using some exhaust assembly paste. We're going to smother that around the clamp and then slide the new part onto it and then put it onto the car. Get it into a brief position and then clamp it up. And this process takes a little while, but you just got to keep adjusting it until you're happy with the fitment. Okay, so the back boxes have been fitted, but the question is it any louder? And for just a backbox delete, I don't think that sounds too bad. However, in the boot, I've got something that paired with the back boxes will make this thing sound absolutely mental and scream. And here it is, the sports cat that I've picked up from Darkside Developments. Look at the size of this thing, it is massive. But before we get that fitted, I just want to make sure that the car is nice and healthy, so I'm going to plug in this Carly adapter into the car and then just make sure everything's all okay. See, the adapter's plugged in down there so we can turn the engine on. I'm then going to load up the Carly app, make sure my car's selected and then connect to the car. Now with Carly, you can actually do dealership diagnostics, you can read out live data, you can code the car to do cool little things that it doesn't necessarily have from factory. And if you install a new battery to your car, some cars require it to be coded in, you can do that on Carly. And also if you need to wind back your rear calipers, if you've got an electric handbrake, you can do that too. And that's what I use it for quite a lot on this car. But it's now connected, so let's click on Diagnostics and run a scan. Check for issues. Okay, so 100% scanned. It's only found 14 issues. I don't think that's too bad. Okay, so let's have a look at the issues. So we've got a thing for ABS, which says it's quite bad, saying electronic handbrake or park brake. Now I do have a problem with the ABS module, or something's going wrong with it, so I need to get that sorted. I'll probably do it off camera because it isn't going to be very interesting. Fog light bulbs, yeah, one of the connections is a little bit dodgy, even though I thought I sorted it. Control head unit, that's absolutely fine because we've got an aftermarket one, so that's normal. Engine, yeah, EGR, which I knew about. So let's clear the issues to get rid of those. So all those codes are now scanned, so for example in a few days time I can rescan it and then that will show me the actual issues that are currently happening with the car. If you want to go ahead and check out Carly, I'll leave a discount code on screen and also a link in the description down below, so go check it out and yeah, let me know what you think. So let's get the sports cat fitted, and to do so my kind friend Luke said he'd give us a hand and also said I can use his ramp. But before we get started, he wants to plug in my car for a little surprise from me a little bit later on. So we started off removing all the trims and plastics to try and get access to the old cab. And this was fairly easy, apart from this horrible heat shield. To try and get it around the cap was near impossible, but we managed to do it in the end. We then had to undo a few sensors and a heat shield. This was a fairly simple job and we had fun doing it. I mean, look at Luke's face, look how happy he is. And with everything at the top undone, it's now time to go underneath and undo the clamp and also the bracket. and after a bit of wiggling, we finally got it out. So the old cat is now out the car, and take a look at how big it is. Like, I've got pretty big hands, but this thing is massive, so just imagine how restrictive it is. It is huge. Like, if you compare it to the sports cat over here, you'll see that, well, this is going to be way easier to fit. Not only because it's nice and shiny and we've got all new bolts, but also it's just physically smaller, so it should get in that gap lovely. So yeah, now it's time to remove all these sensors and the bracket, put it onto the new sports cat, and then we can get it on the car. And also, Luke's got a bit of a trick up his sleeve a little bit later on to hopefully make this thing have a little bit more power. And with all the sensors swapped over, it's time to install the new part, and this was far easier because it is just physically smaller, so it can fit through the gaps nice and easily. So it's all now fitted, so time for the first start up, and hopefully it's all good. And hopefully there's no leaks, we need to check that. Sounds like a jet engine. That's mental. That is nuts. That does not sound like a diesel. Oh no, it doesn't sound like a diesel at all. It's an A5 converted to it's an A5 GTR, mate. That is nuts. That is ridiculous. Right, so this is the maiden voyage. Now, there's a little bit of a secret. Not only have we fitted the exhaust, Luke has also mapped it. So it should be near 300 horsepower-ish.
It generally sounds like an
R35. It already sounds mental and we've not even put our foot down yet. I already feel like an idiot. Oh, just have my exhaust down, I'm excited.
That sounds nuts.
That is mental. I'm very impressed, mate. Cheers, mate. Honestly, that is so sick.
Just sort of when you get to the top of the rev range.
Oh
that does sound good.
Wow, that is ridiculous. How long until I get pulled over? I'm saying a week.
I've been alright.
I know, but they just love me. So loud. So there we have it. That is the pretty crazy exhaust on my Audi A5. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, and also tell me if you think it sounds like a 350Z or a GTR. I think it sounds absolutely mental, and not many people know that these can do this, but yeah. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and also subscribe. And other than that, I shall catch you guys very soon. Sounds like a tractor, mate.